Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, lock it.
Hey, alert three.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, keep it up.
Check. Leo. Fair.
You got tight right there. Kill.
Here's 2nd and 8. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Von Bell up to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
90 Wolf.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
They'll set up a throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Nelson Aguilar. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A gain of 6 there on 1st. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Ready.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Balaj. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Go, 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 go.
Motion, motion.
Five. Check, go.
Back to throw. Herbert. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. An update from Buffalo. It's the Patriots with the early lead over the Bills. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down now. It's Harris, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and 6.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Operating from the gun. Herbert. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Yeah, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. 6-0 our score after 1. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
That's another Dolphins first down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Down. 18 Gator. Mike. Look at me. Go on. Hit it.
For the catch made by Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, You have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a gain of 35. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A.J. Green hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd and 4. It's caught. Cooper. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 1st and 10, Herbert under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A safety with a sack there, LaMarcus Joyner.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Hey, Haywood. On the spike.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Ready, ready.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Herbert. And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
He's going to look deep down the field. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. 2nd and 13. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, exit.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I know he ain't got it.
To throw again, Herbert. He gets this one to Johnson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Back to throw. Herbert. He finds his man Johnson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Yes, yes. Go, go. 5.
Second and 9 now. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but now it's third and goal.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
From the gun on third down, Herbert in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. It's a loss of 4 on what ought to be the final act of this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready to break.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing again on second and 10. Herbert. Johnson's got it complete. That one covers 29 yards. First down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and 11.
On the double.
53, Mike.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Get it.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 39. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Jim.
Ready.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And now look at him go. Touchdown. Darren Waller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Harris. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Just like that. Just like that.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it. And
his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Oh, what a catch there by Cooper. A little over 20 yards there, and in 2 plays, they've now moved the ball over 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Back to throw. Herbert. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Don't be scared of it.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Watch the edge.
Hey, Delta.
Mike, 44's Mike. Check.
On 4th down, Herbert. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go now. 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie.
You don't want none.
But I... 5.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Come on, set.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cleveland Farrell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. White now to return. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Everyone, you got 4 down.
Ready?
Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Well, now they'll try the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now. He's been terrific so far. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready up.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Herbert. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Maurice Hurst in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Herbert. Complete, it's Johnson. And now look at this, big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Set 70, Indy.
We own this. We own this.
Why? Get wide. Go.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
Let's go now.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right. All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hey, box drop. Ready.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And now here's another interception. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Cooper was the intended target. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Here we go. 50, plant.
Here we go.
Now.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for our visitors, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8, and they'll try to get back on track next week